Why is the Yamaha 25 sitting right here halfway taken apart? Why are there two couches right here? Why is there not one but two fuel tanks? Why is there an empty bottle of starting fluid? Why is there a Gatorade bottle full of fuel? Why is there a spray bottle full of fuel? Lithium battery. These are all good questions. I'm gonna answer them for you here in just a couple minutes. Welcome to another glorious day here at Skiff Land. Let's get into it because we got a little bit to talk about. First of all, I know that was a Powerade bottle, not a Gatorade bottle. I don't even know why I said that. It's a Powerade Zero. Anywho, if you've been following the Carolina Skiff 16 journey, it started with this Yamaha 25 on it. Now, the Yamaha ran great, ran like a top every single time that I had it out, except the last time. If you remember, I brought it out and it started first button push and it ran great. Puffed a little bit of smoke out, but it still ran great. But then it died and then it wouldn't start again. And I didn't know why that happened. Up until that point, it ran really, really good, although the tiller handle was backwards. So when I would put it in reverse, I'd go forward. When I'd put it in forward, I'd go reverse. And because of that, there's a safety mechanism that only lets you get a quarter throttle in reverse, which means I only got a quarter throttle in forward. But it wasn't a big deal. We still got to the sandbar. We still had a good time. The motor still ran great. All right, but because of all those issues, I was like, you know what, I want to yank it off and I want a black motor anyway. I think I'll be able to make a little money off the Yamaha and get a cheaper Mercury 25 and it'll have like no issues, whatever. So I went out and I get a Mercury 25 and that motor ran great, but it was a short shaft motor, and that's when I realized this was a long shaft transom and I needed a long shaft motor. So it took a couple motors to figure out what was perfect for this boat. This Suzuki 25 long shaft is perfect for this boat. It's ready to go. It's actually for sale right now. Got a couple hits on it, but nobody's pulled the trigger yet. I listed it high, you know, little negotiating room. We'll see what happens with that. Regardless, but it's a perfect boat. If nobody buys it, I'll fish it for the rest of the summer happily. Regardless, that boat is now perfect, but it took a little while to get there. When I bought the Mercury 25, I brought the Yamaha back in here, wondering why it wasn't starting, whatever. And I swapped the cables on the tiller handle, whatever. I don't know what happened, but I fired it up on the cherry picker and it ran great. No issues at all. Enough for me to get some videos of it running good. And then took some pictures of it. I laid it down over here, took some pictures of it, put it on Facebook Marketplace, and that was that. Well, somebody just drove 2.5 hours to get here because what I believe was a good running motor was ready for sale. They drive 2.5 hours to get here. I bring it outside, we stand her up, we hook up the water, we hook up the fuel, everything. Go to press the button, no juice, no fire at all. I don't know what happened, I don't know what was going on, but no fire at all. Not even a nothing. It was exactly what was happening on the water the other day before I just gave up and used the trolling motor. So I was like, that's weird, because the other day, I sent them videos and everything. The other day, it was running perfectly fine on the cherry picker. So in my mind, I'm thinking maybe laying it down. Did I lay it on the wrong side? Did I have it laying down too long? Whatever. So I basically was just like, let me yank some plugs. I yanked the plugs. They were a little moist. But I didn't necessarily think that was the issue because I dried them off and then I put them back in and the same thing. I actually, when I put them back in, I got like a and then it died off. So then I was like, maybe there's a fuel issue. I don't know. Maybe there's a fuel pump issue. So I took off one of the lines and I fired it up, but we were getting fuel out of the fuel pump. So then I was like, I don't know what's going on. This was a good running motor the other day. I'm gonna save you the whole story. This is actually really funny because I was talking about this in my video yesterday or 2 days ago. The gray fuel lines, okay? Let me just show you what I'm working with, because I had a gray fuel line hooked up to the gas tank on this motor. I'm so glad that I ended up swapping it out, because let me just get into it. I'm just gonna show you off the rip. You see that inner liner? Brother, I can't even pump through it. I'm squeezing as hard as I can. Nothing. So this line has collapsed. This line is good, but I think when this line collapsed, we probably lost a little bit of plastic and it got caught somewhere in the carburetor or the fuel system here, because I grabbed starting fluid and it was starting on the starting fluid, but then it would die off. And then I put gas from here into there just to see if there's any water in it. That fuel was good. Whatever, I go to switch over to this gas tank. And how I figured out that this gray fuel line was bad is when I switched over to this gas tank and I plugged it in, we still weren't getting a fire. And I grabbed this this bottle and I was going to squeeze gas into this bottle. But when I took it off and I went to do that, squeeze it in, I was getting nothing. So then I looked in the, long story short, that gray fuel line collapsed. It's funny because for the past couple of videos, I've been saying I've never personally had an issue with these gray fuel lines. I only switch them to black fuel lines before I sell a boat, just so nobody else has issues. But for me personally, I just run whatever I got because I got it for free usually with the boat, and it works fine and it works for me. I don't know why I'm being taught this lesson on a Sunday morning, but that's where we're at right now. I think I lost a little bit of that fuel line somewhere in the fuel system because, let's see, whenever I took this fuel line off here, I'm getting gas out, but I think something is clogged in the carburetor because I can spray fuel. I ran out of starting fluid. That's why I put fuel into that little bottle. Spraying straight up gas right in here, it'll start and it'll run. It'll idle perfectly as long as I keep spraying that gas. It was perfect. Then when I stop spraying the gas, it dies off. But it's not a fuel pump issue. It's got to be a carb issue, I believe. Well, not a carb issue, but I might have to just buy another carb. I might be able to get lucky, take this carb off and inspect it and maybe find some plastic in there. That's what I'm about to do, just in hopes that it happens. But if you remember from my last carburetor video on this, basically this exact same motor, it's really hard to get that bolt out and then back on. Actually, it's like impossible. I don't understand why they build it this way, because it's, let me grab this flathead so I can show you exactly where the bolt is. There's only 2 bolts that hold on this carburetor from the intake. There's 2 bolts, one bolt right here, bink, and then another bolt through here, bink. I'm touching it right now. I can barely touch it with a skinny flathead. So I don't know how they want you to do that. You can't even get it through to it on the bottom. You can't get to it on the top. I'm honestly gonna have to rewatch my video and see how I even did that in the first place. I simply just don't get it. But I think there's a little piece of plastic somewhere in here, right? Because if I can just bypass it and spray fuel in here, but everything else is working properly, this is all looking jank just because I was trying to get it off, and for some reason it's not coming off. I was hoping that there's maybe a little piece of plastic in there stopping it. I don't know. I still need to try and get that off. This is not coming off, and it's almost making me think that it doesn't come off. I don't want to break it because nowhere's open today for me to get another one. Or I don't know. If I can't fix everything else today, then I might have to break it, because tomorrow Atlantic Coast Marine will be open and they have fuel filters in there for me, but they're closed today, so no such luck. I don't want to break it today just in case. just in case it's just the carb, something's in the carburetor, and I get it out and we're all good to go. I also want to say I'm just learning as I go when I'm doing this stuff. This isn't a how-to channel or anything. Definitely don't follow in my footsteps with this stuff. I had a video replacing this carburetor on this exact motor, like this same motor but a different motor, I don't know, it was a while ago, and I actually got ripped apart in the comments because I did a bad job. Whatever, I was adjusting this screw thinking I was doing something. I wasn't doing something. All right, I was doing weird stuff, but weirdly that carburetor that I put on that motor worked and it fixed it and everything was all good. So all I know is that this is a annoying carburetor to get off. Even still, I don't know what they want me to do. How are you supposed to get behind here to get to that bolt? I don't know. If you've ever had a 2004 Yamaha 25 4-stroke and you had carburetor issues, you probably saw that boat guy's video of taking the carburetor off and upgrading the jets and all of that. But when I watched the video, I've watched it 1,000 times over and over and over again, and I try to, he just says this bolt's really hard to get to, and then he just gets the bolt off. I don't even know how he gets it off. I don't even know. Feel free to watch that video for like the more technical things on how to do, but that particular part, I don't know how he gets that bolt off. For now though, I'm gonna stop worrying about this fuel filter because this fuel line that goes directly into the carb right here, once I prime right here, we're getting fuel. So considering there's a zip tie right here, somebody's definitely been in here before. I think the previous owner did say that he swapped this particular line. I don't remember why though, but now I'm more curious. This needs to go back here. I'm not gonna worry about the fuel filter for right now. What's going on? Did I do that wrong? I'm doing so many things wrong. Let's get this out of here. This way? Oh yeah, that way. I'm crazy. I'm a crazy man. All right, everybody relax. Just chill with me, man. I just need moral support right now, to be honest. That's all I need. So that goes there. Tuck that in down there. Tighten that up here in a bit. But we need to get this carb off. Keep in mind, the kill switch does not work still. The controls work properly. I have them completely off right now just so I can work right here. But the kill switch is still bad. He brought another kill switch. He was ready to go. I was super transparent, super honest. He was ready to go. He brought another kill switch. I told him we're gonna have to turn the motor off via putting your hand over the intake. But other than that, she's a good running motor. So he brought a kill switch. He drove 2.5 hours. I feel terrible. He's driving 2.5 back. He said that if I pop this carb off and I fix it by the end of the day, he'll slide back because he really wants the motor. Because we did have it fired up on the gas and it was a good running motor. I said I'd give him a crazy deal on it. With all of that being said, so he's definitely still interested. So we might still be able to make a little money today. We will see. But it all depends on that one bolt in the back. Bolt number 1 is obviously super easy to get out. It's right there in your face. Dude, I don't even know if I want to record the trials and tribulations of trying to get that other bolt off. Honestly, I need to watch my old video. I need to watch my old video and see if I gave my future self, any tips. That is honestly what I need to do. 1 bolt. We'll put that there. I wish you could just... I don't remember what I did. Maybe... Did I take this off and spin? I think I told myself not to spin that around, actually. This is where we're at right now. I've taken a bunch of things off. The one thing that I don't want to separate is the intake from this thing right here. That's what I told myself not to do, was take this off. And with taking this top off and taking off a bunch of stuff around it, I can kind of get in there, but it's still tough, dude. I almost want to grind down this 10 mil crescent just to be able to get in there, dude. Even this side, I can't really, I can get on it, but I have no room. All right, I'm just gonna keep, I've dove in. I'm in here now. I'm gonna figure it out. Also, there's no type of swivel setup. I could do swivel to extension to swivel to swivel to extension, and nothing's getting back there. So, tough Sunday morning. Well, my past self is just screaming in anger right now. This accidentally came off. Obviously, it frees up the space here to get that off and put it back on, but real bummer. It just slid right off, man. I was not trying to do that, but now we can get back here and loosen her up. She wasn't even tight. She was like hand tight, but not loose enough to get back there with any type of finger strength. Even still, rough. I'm not complaining though, man. I'm having a good time. Hanging out with you guys, turning wrenches, whatever. Almost brunch time though, brother. What are we having? Took a little time, but we got the girl off. Just atrocious, dude. I don't know why anybody would do that. Just off a visual inspection, I'm sure I'm not gonna see a lick of nothing. I don't even have any carb cleaner on me. I guess let's open her up, brother. Let's open her up. Obviously, the best case scenario would be we open her up and we see something. We see a piece of rubber or plastic or something stopping this carb from working correctly. Because, I mean, it looks pretty clean. I'm not going to lie to you. One of the cleaner carburetors I've seen. Stay tuned for the moment of truth, I suppose. I'm also terrible at this stuff, so I'm probably gonna mess it up. Worst case scenario, I mean, we gotta go grab another carb. Hopefully I don't have to do that though. Hopefully it's something simple. I don't have to dive much further into it. Oh, all right. Pretty clean in there. I'm not seeing anything. Everything looks good, man. Honestly, it looks really good. Almost, there's a little bit of buildup in here. I could probably just get that off with my finger, to be honest. Not super worried about that. Yeah, that's not gonna inhibit it from starting, let me tell you. Everything, unfortunately, looks good. Almost too good. Would you agree? I don't even know if I'm doing this right, but blow on it, I can't blow anything. Turn it upside down, and I can blow. I don't know. I'm over here watching videos myself. I'm 99.99999% certain that the carburetor is now not the issue. I suppose something could be further along stopping it. Where did this go? Alright, so fuel filter. Rough. Let's think. Legend has it I'm still micro turning this bolt to this day. I've been sitting here for a while, just, you know, quarter turn after quarter turn. I think I have an idea of what's next though. So as soon as we get this back on, we're off to the races. Problem with taking this off is whenever you get it back on, or you try to put it back on, there's a little rubber gasket in here that you kind of have to angle to put it back on, but because of everything being in the way, it only goes in kind of at an angle the wrong direction, so you can't really like snug up in that gasket, and it just makes it harder than it needs to be. So I'm gonna sit here probably 7 hours trying to get that flush in there so that it's nice and airtight, and then we'll go from there. It's so hard to get it in there. It's hard to explain unless you actually put your hands on it. This is what I'm doing though. I made some modifications. I took the jigsaw and I cut out this piece of plastic right here, and I'm holding the heat gun on it because I'm gonna try and start to bend it so I can put it in and kind of wedge it in there and shimmy it in there. So I'm just kind of heating her up a little bit so she's a little easier to work with, because it looks like you have to be able to kind of put it in and then kind of tilt it to the left and then shove it in and then tilt it to the right, but it's such hard plastic that it doesn't let you do that. All right, I think we might be I think we might be a little more pliable now. I'm heating up this side a little bit now, so it's a little more, this is rough. I rarely feel defeated you know, everything going on in life, whatever, I rarely feel defeated. And I don't know if the Florida heat's getting to me or what, but I'm starting to feel defeated. I've tried everything. I've tried everything to get this thing back in there. I don't know. There's probably somebody out there more experienced than me that's just like screaming at the TV, do this, do this, do this. I don't know. Real quickly, I'll tell you about these couches. Couch and a love seat. Basically, if you watch some of my really old videos, I used to go find stuff in the trash and sell it on Facebook Marketplace and use that money to go gamble. And that's basically what this is. I was cruising down the street last night, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a nice couch and love seat set. And that looked like some fun free money to go gamble with. So maybe if somebody hits me on Facebook Marketplace for these couches today, maybe the end of this video will be at the casino. Who knows, man? That's just what those couches are there for. It's actually a really nice couch and love seat set. It is what it is. I might sell the couch in the office, keep those. I don't know. We're gonna do something with them, but that's why those couches are there. I ended up reshaping this so it'll actually get in there. That's the only thing that I could think to do. Put a little bevel on it so it'll actually guide its way in rather than fight it. She's in there about as good as she can be. Somebody at Yamaha is gonna have to see me about that one. Dude, that's rough. That whole situation is rough. It's seated in there, but it's not stuck in there. And that is the only thing that holds this intake, other than like where the intake grabs on to these other lines. That's the only thing that really holds it in place. So before I sell it, I'm gonna have to go get another one of those from the parts store, either Boathouse or Atlantic Coast Marine. Frustrated, but that's where she's gonna be for now, just to see if we can start this thing back up. I just put everything back together. This intake is probably gonna cause a bunch of problems. It might not even let it start with that air to fuel ratio being off. But my wife just brought me lunch, so we're gonna go chill in the office and eat some food. I'm gonna think about this, come back with a more clear mind, and then I guess we'll see where we're going from there. Might try and fire it up, might not. We're going to Orange LaCroix for the lunch session. I now have the water on, gas hooked up to this Golden Mate 12-volt lithium battery. We're ready to start her up once more. I still don't have the controls hooked up at all, so I can sit here and manually adjust throttle with no problem. Tuck those down there. Right now, the only issue is this intake. It's whack, super whack intake. I knew it was going to be whack the second it came off of that thing. I knew it was going to be whack, but we still might get some fire out of it. It might start. I actually don't think it's going to, but if it does kind of start, you'll at least see what we're working with, because it'll start and then it'll die. And if I keep spraying the gasoline that I have in this spray bottle into the intake, then it will stay alive for a little bit. And I can only assume that it has something to do with this gray fuel line, because the plastic liner inside has completely collapsed and it's not letting any gas even flow through there. And there's literally little pieces. So somewhere down the fuel line, I'm assuming there is plastic somewhere. I don't think it has caused catastrophic engine failure just yet, but who knows, man? Let's give it a shot. Let me grab the tripod. Let's go for it. First crank is going to be in gear, giving it some gas with no extra fuel spraying in. Well, I guess I'll try in neutral, and if that doesn't work, then we'll go to in gear, giving it gas. But regardless, neutral, no extra gas. We're just gonna try and crank it. My theory actually is that there was a little microscopic piece of plastic that traveled its way into the jet on the carburetor, because before I showed you guys the carburetor, I took it out and I looked through it and you could barely see through it, and then I blew and then you could see through it amazingly. And then I put it all back together. Other than that, I didn't see any like big floating pieces of plastic. I just saw the jet kind of clogged. I don't know, I didn't think it was clogged enough, but that's the only thing that I did really in this whole process. So I didn't even put it in gear. It literally was in neutral, started right up, gave it a little bit of gas, and it's great. Purring like a kitten, which I'm not surprised, because it was purring like a kitten the other day before I listed it for sale. But yeah, that's just, ooh, you gotta, now I will stand by it. You have to get these black fuel lines. Get rid of these gray fuel lines. I had to speak up. I had to speak up and say that, oh, nothing's ever happened to me with the gray fuel line. Brother, now I know. Now I know. Well, I mean, she's running good. That's great news. Should we give her just a random another shot? Good enough for me. She sounds good. She sounds healthy, man. Now I can put the controls on the right way and, you know, send her to her new home. A couple things. This lithium battery is starting up the Yami 25 just fine and great. I don't think it's great to use a lithium battery as your starting battery for the long term, but I mean, it's working fine right now. The other thing is you really shouldn't be cranking motors just with the hose hooked up right here. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing, but I don't believe you should be cranking. I don't know, man. This is just what I'm hearing from people. I've kind of done both. I've done the muffs and I've done this, but I don't run it on this for that long. Obviously in this video and a video on the Baycraft a couple videos back, I ran it. So I mean, I don't recommend it. Like I said, this is not a how-to channel. I'm not here for tips and everything. I get squirrely, brother. But I just dive into things and try my best to figure it out on the fly. This one, we figured it out, and I really think that it has to do with the gray fuel line. I mean, there's a visible smoking gun right here. Not everything else looked good. So I think a microscopic piece of plastic found its way into that jet. Now I get to go home. The wife brought me Jimmy John's. It's smacked. That's that. Sunday afternoon. Now I get to go swim with the baby and just have a good rest of the day. I had other plans. I came here to work on the Baycraft today. No such luck though. The guy said that he would still be interested if I got it running today, and I sent him the video. He read the message and I haven't gotten a response yet, so who knows? He might come by it, he might not. I mean, it's a good running Yamaha 4-stroke 25 horsepower short shaft, so at some point it's going to sell. I'm not super worried about it, but we'll see if he comes back. I feel like he's not going to come back because earlier probably scared him off. And I mean, I'm taking some money off regardless because I'm going to tell him he has to get a new intake thing. But I mean, other than that, it's a good running motor. We'll see if he comes back. I absolutely did not trust myself at all. I still had this spray bottle full of gas. Like I said before I even started it, I was going to try it in neutral, but I was fully prepared to throw it in gear and give it a bunch of gas. So, I mean, yep, I would call this a success. Slightly a random success, slightly a bummer of a success, just because of the intake is all jank now. But I'm gonna get another one, or if he comes back today, I'm gonna take money off. But that thing is terrible design. That was rough, because I even tried to take it back off and put this through and put the little gasket on, and but then I couldn't get to the bolt. So I'm gonna spend the rest of the time here cleaning up and putting everything back where it was, and then putting the motor somewhere in here, taking some better pictures of it, probably list it. He just responded and he said he'll let me know. I don't know, but I'm not gonna sit around and wait, because now we have a good operating motor again. Might as well take some better pictures, relist it, and see what's cracking on the Facebook Marketplace. Whew. Stressful day. I was defeated there for a little bit. Now I'm stoked, but I was defeated. I'm glad you got to see that. It's not always glamorous around here. But yeah, I can't stress enough. I will never, ever, ever, ever use one of those gray fuel lines ever again. I need to go just grab 100 feet of that black fuel line, just so I have it on the ready. Tomorrow I'm actually going to be cruising over to this boat dealership. There's 3 skiffs that I have my eye on. I don't know if they're just trying to get rid of them or what, but I got 3 skiffs that I got my eyes on, and I'm stoked about it. I bought a little microphone and everything. I'm stoked to try and raise the production a little bit. So tomorrow's going to be a fun little field trip. 3 boats. There's a Baycraft that's a little bit nicer than this one. There's a Carolina Skiff DLX, and then there's a Salt Marsh something. 3 cool skiffs that we're gonna get to feast our eyes on and talk numbers and just have a silly goose time over there. While I don't know, so I'm stoked about it and hope to see you in that video tomorrow. This one was a little bit of a roller coaster, but we got there in the end. Victorious on a Sunday afternoon. I don't even know what time it is now. Hopefully it's pre 2 o'clock, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna clean up and I'm gonna cruise out of here, man. Thank you guys for hanging till the end of the video. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you guys. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I'm in here cleaning up right now, and brother, if there wasn't a better picture of what getting squirrely looked like. The jigsaw, the angle grinder, and the heat gun for a project that absolutely did not need any of those things. Super squirrely. I guess in another note, we didn't go to the casino because I wrapped up here way quicker than I thought. I thought I was going to be here a while and give the Facebook Marketplace people time to see the couch and come grab her. So I mean, I still got the couch, dude. If you need a couch, let me know. Let me know, bro. Let me give you a look-see of these couches. They're actually pretty nice. Bingo, a little love seat action going on over here. Couch. Brother, what you think? Let me know if you need a couch. Save me from going to the casino. But yeah, who knows? Let me know if you need a couch. I was gonna leave, but I'm actually gonna go upstairs and box for a little bit before. That way I can box, get all super sweaty, and then meet my wife and the baby at the pool at home. That's a good Sunday to me. Crank the tunes up, listen to some Shine Down, hit the bag a little bit. Nice. All right, see you guys tomorrow for the going to check out some project skiffs. Maybe not projects, maybe, I don't know. We're gonna check out some sweet skiffs though, nonetheless. And I'm looking forward to it. So I'll see you there. Love you guys. Bye.